Hello everyone and welcome back to Bacon. At this point, I'm pretty sure it's just a mild cough and some mild exhaustion. I was dumb and I stayed up late last night exercising, but this morning I felt fine, so I think we're doing okay. Alright, continuing on with Rumpel's Chapter 5. Days go by. I consider Rumpel's advice, but I refuse to flirt with anyone again, as you should. But I have no idea how to make anyone happy. You should only flirt with people that you actually find attractive, personally. Again, if you're like a super flirty person in general, like I have some friends who are like that, that's one thing. But for me personally, I just feel like you shouldn't flirt with people unless you're either attracted to them or you're in a place where you feel like it's okay to flirt with them. Does that make sense? Not oh, I'm gonna flirt with every single person I know because I'm a flirty person. It's if everyone's comfortable in the situation, you can flirt, or if you find them attractive, flirt. I think I've mentioned that before, but I just feel the need to reiterate it. Rumpel told me that I cannot make anyone happy without knowing anything about them and listening to them like I did with Anise. But what reason do I have to listen to people? And it's really funny that he gives that advice, again, considering how nasty he was toward Karma, and having just first seen him and met him, the way that he behaved and everything, and then to get mad when he found out the guy was, you know, a guy. That was just... He has no room to talk about making people happy and getting to know them and blah, blah, blah. I feel like he only feels that way towards women, and then towards men he's probably lackluster at best. This is so frustrating. Days later, Rumpel and I sit at a table waiting for our work orders. Rumpel's on the verge of conversation when we suddenly hear Parfait speaking in the doorway. Rumpel picks up on the words before I do and rushes over to the front door. He looked almost nervous. Who's at the front door? I excuse myself briefly, telling Anise that I will be back. I make my way over to the front door, and there I see 3 people in conversation. There is Rumpel and Parfait and a very pale man. The pale man looks like death itself, like he might just keel over. I can help him. Rumpel. He needs help. He can stay in my room instead. I can even restock the medicines on my own if need be, so please, let me help him. There is desperation in Rumpel's eyes that I have never seen before. He looks at Parfait pleadingly, all the while holding the man by the shoulder to steady him. What is happening? Oh, Princess, this man heard about Rumpel through one of the men at the tavern. He's sick, and doesn't have a lot of money to pay for treatment. He came here seeking Rumpel. He must have been able to find this place because he was cursed. Does he even have the money to pay? Rumpel turns to me with a frown on his face. I've never seen him look at me so sternly. Princess, you remember what I told you before? He was insistent that a doctor's #1 priority was to help their patient, regardless of their monetary situation. Take him to your room then, Rumpel. I'll have Anise assist you, if she's willing. No, Anise does not need to worry herself. I think she'd want to help you. The two cut their discussion short when the man starts coughing, a terrible hacking cough that paralyzes him. Rumpel steadies him and then begins to slowly move him toward his room. Don't worry, Princess. He'll be fine. What? I can see the worry on your face. Rumpel will be fine. Are you guys trying to... Yeah, they're trying to push that she cares about him. Oh, it's also very forced. Why would I worry about Rumpel? Because it's not like you to worry about someone you don't know at all. He looks so alarmed. I've never seen Rumpel look like that before. It is not like him. Rumpel knows what he's doing. I'll have someone else assist you with serving today, so no worries. Parfait comes through on her promise. When I go back to the bar, both Anise and Rumpel are gone. Karma, or Miss Karma, is there instead, looking disgruntled. Waltz would be better at this. Why do I have to help? Because Waltz is busy doing his puppet shows, and Rumpel is helping a sick man. Oh? Well, I guess there's something to do about this then, other than enjoy it. He flips his hair and smiles brilliantly. I will attract all of the customers today. Perhaps we should have a competition, Princess. Compete with yourself. The laughter that came out of me from that sentence. I'm really not in the mood for karma right now. You know, one of my friends commented how cute it is when I giggle on these, and I don't even mean to cutely giggle or anything. I just laugh as it comes. I'm looking forward to them seeing that laugh. And I shall definitely compete with myself, because challenging yourself is important. I love you, Karma. Herman picks up waiting tables fairly easily, and notice that he speaks very fondly to the girls, but they are not as receptive as they are with Rumpel. Many times they ask Karma where Rumpel is, and he seems agitated, but he tells them that Rumpel is busy. They seem just as irritated. Once my break starts, I meet Karma at the bar. He looks depressed. I guess if you and Rumpel competed to woo girls, he would win. I think it's more because they're kind of used to Rumpel versus Karma. This is his first time on the floor, so they're used to Rumpel's kind of cheesy, flowery, constant compliments type stuff. And I'm actually still a little bit bothered that he's able to win over an entire group of women at once with being cheesy and flowery like that, because that kind of indicates something that I'm not entirely comfortable with, but I won't further comment on. Not that I approve of either of them in either of their tactics for seducing women, because it's, you know, you get it, I hope. Darling, if I were to shed my disguise right here and now, I would be the clear victor, which is technically correct, because of his curse. Since without this disguise, women would flock to me. It is rather uncomfortable to have every woman in Angiel fall in love with you. You look like you're judging me, princess. Because I am. I love Lucette. If only you understood my plight. Karma and Rumpel may speak similarly, but they are still so different. Karma's the type to complain, Rumpel never complains. Karma's also not the type to straight up attack another person for their sensitivities, so he is overworking himself for someone else, just like he went out of his way to apologize to me many times. Please stop trying to forcibly put Rumpel in a positive light like this, making him seem like he's just the better person in general. That's great that he took on that patient. It's great that he's a doctor who really, really cares. I appreciate that about him, but he's a really crappy person. Don't pretend like he's not. My heart sinks a little bit as I think of him and Anise helping out the sick man. Rumpel did not even want Anise going up there, so he probably wouldn't want me up there either. I could try to visit him, or I could go back to my room. Okay, this is one of the reasons why I think I'm going to end up having the bad ending, because I would rather just go back to the room. I have no interest in Rumpel whatsoever. None. Okay, my thing with Rumpel is that there are some characters in some of video games, things that I play, where they say a character is supposed to be a certain way, but the character does not behave that certain way, and oftentimes it's due to translation issues. But not all the time. It just also seems like the writers just didn't know how they wanted to go about writing a particular character, if that makes sense. Good gravy, I need to stop saying that. Anyway, and I kind of feel like they're doing that with Rumpel here. They're trying to say he's a certain way without putting in the effort of showing him to be that particular way. And I don't like it when they do that for characters. Like, it's too late, they've already written the character a certain way. Now they're trying to backtrack by trying to force the particular narrative that they were going for, rather than putting in the effort of making it the narrative they were going for. Sorry if that offends anybody. I don't want to go see Rumpel. I'm going to be honest. I want to just have her go back to her room. So we're going to go back to the room to start with. I should not bother him. What was that, princess? It is nothing. If you don't want to bother Rumpel, you can always spend some time down here with me. I could give you some advice about your good deeds, too. You? I stare at him. Karma puts a hand over his chest and sighs dramatically. I'm offended, princess. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed Delora looking expectantly at Karma. He notices her and then sighs out dramatically. If I had more time, I would give you advice. Karma walks off and I consider his words. Then, after a few moments, I shake the words from my mind and start walking. As I am heading up to my room, I hesitate, knowing Rumpel's door is close by. Earlier, he looked so stressed. I think I should go see him. I make my way over to what I think is Rumpel's door. The door is slightly ajar and I hear hushed voices on the other side. Those voices definitely belong to Anise and Rumpel. I slowly open the door and quietly step inside. Rumpel and Anise are standing over the man who is covered in blankets and coughing. A series of bottles sit on the table close by. None of the herbal remedies are working. We need a medicine for this. I'm sorry, I don't have any more money to offer, Rumpel. Anise, please don't sound so sad. You've already tried helping as much as you possibly can. It's my fault for promising to buy the medicine that we need. I glance at the table where a list is sitting. Beautiful cursive handwriting details everything that the patient needs. Everything is circled except for some medicine at the very bottom that has a star next to it. Is that Rumpel's handwriting? Suddenly the two of them turn. They both look shocked to see me. Princess, what are you doing here? I came to see how you were doing. Princess, I'm fine, but... He glances down at the man on the bed, and he sighs out a little bit. We've given him what we can, but the one medicine that we need is something we can't afford. Even with the money I'm getting from Lady Parfait, it isn't enough. I walk into the room and glance at the list. I look over the total for the medicine, then at the coins on the table that I hadn't noticed before. Did Rumpel use all his money for this stranger? What will happen if you do not get his medicine? Without this, the infection will spread and he could... He goes silent as the man starts coughing again. I can read the answer in his eyes even if he won't say it. The man could be in terrible danger. He could even die. Rumpel looks defeated. He does not look like himself at all. I glance at the coins again, then at the list. Without a second thought, I grab both the list and the coins. Princess, what are you? I'll be back. I leave the room, even with the niece and Rumpel protesting behind me. I make my way to my room, where I pick up the bag of coins that the king gave me when I went to the palace on the day I was cursed. I was just thinking, doesn't she still have the patch of coins? Pouch of coins. And I had a feeling this is exactly what she was planning on doing, and that's adorable, and I love it. Then I head for the door. I immediately head for the medicine store that we always frequent. I count out the coins I need to buy the medicine. This will take all of my money, but it wasn't as if I was going to use it for something else. I rush back to the marching with the medicine in a little bag, hoping that this is the one that Rumpel needs. It is dark by the time I get to the marching. I'm wondering why Anise and or Rumpel, well, at least one of them would have had to stay behind, but the other one should have, like, gone with her and been like, what are you doing? And then she would have told them what she was doing. They'd be like, alright, I will come with you to make sure you get the right medicine. Gosh, that's such a good date. It would have been like a moment to actually have them bond again over this, if that makes sense, a little sooner. It is dark by the time I get back to the marchand. On top of that, she had somebody following her the other day, so being by herself is probably not very smart, and Rumpel knows that. So I'm a little, I make my way to Rumpel's room again and notice that he is sitting on a stool beside the patient's bed, looking at him forlornly. I'm noticing there isn't like a crystal in the corner. When I enter the room, his eyes go wide. He seems even more surprised when I hand him the bag. Princess, is this? He opens the bag and lets the little vial roll onto his hand. Oh, that's a pretty vial. How did you buy this? I combined your total with the money I had left. Rumpel just stares at me, clearly flabbergasted. Then his expression morphs into something softer, something more relieved. He steps forward and suddenly his arms are around me. He grips me tightly and then I hear his voice in my ear. Thank you so much, Princess Lucette. My heartbeat peaks up slightly. It is so loud I think Rumpel might hear it, but when he pulls away he does not say anything. I'll have to thank you for this later, Princess, but for now you should leave. I don't want you to get sick. I am too dazed to disagree. I nod my head quietly before moving stiffly toward the door. I glance back at Rumpel one last time, noticing that he's checking the man's temperature. The moment I leave the room, a flash of light emanates from my chest. Oh, I completely forgot about her curse. How bad is that? I forgot about it. I absently touch the glass slipper at my neck and then pause as I stare down at it. I feel a soft gasp leave my lips when I notice the fragment of a second slipper. And it's her first one. We came in pretty far into the game, it feels like. No, we're still in chapter 5, aren't we? Yeah, we're not even that far in. It feels like we're much further in than we actually are. This has just been a chore, I'm gonna be honest. I got my first good deed. I bought the medicine for Rumpel, but I only added in a few more coins to buy it. So what I did today was considered a good deed? Oh, good gravy. I just got scared. So my roommate's puppies are in my room until they come home, and one of them just started licking my toe and scared the crap out of me. I am confused, but at the same time I am pleased that I actually managed to get a good deed. Now I only need 2 more. The next day I go down to the tavern area to begin my work, but I am there a little early. Waltz is working on his puppets at a table, eyebrows furrowed in concentration. When I walk in, he looks up at me and smiles. Then he raises his eyebrows. Princess, congratulations! You got your first good deed. I did. You were best boy, Waltz. I knew you could do it. I nod in response. His praise makes me feel oddly proud. I continue my usual work, keeping an eye out for Rumpel as I work my shift, but he never appears. I still haven't seen the crystal, so we're gonna go back. I don't want to go to Rumpel's room, but we're going to Rumpel's room. I think I'll go check on him. Check on Rumpel? I hadn't realized I was speaking aloud. I look at Karma, who furrows his eyebrows at me slightly. I honestly don't know how you can stand him as a partner. Why do you dislike Rumpel? Oh, well, I wonder why he dislikes Rumpel so much, Lucette, who you've been witness to why he wouldn't like Rumpel. Who would freaking like Rumpel after the way he's behaved toward Karma? Why are they forcing this narrative that Karma hasn't, not Karma, that Rumpel hasn't done some pretty nasty freaking stuff? Why are you ignoring this and acting like Karma's the one that's been the freaking issue here? At all. He has not been even slightly the freaking issue when it comes to Rumpel. A lot of things, Princess, but that fight is between us and doesn't involve you. Then do not involve me. You have no need to comment on us being partners. Karma looks at me, wide-eyed and a little shocked. Then a sort of knowing comes into his eyes and he smiles, just a little bit. And then there's... I don't like this option. I'm gonna be freaking honest. I liked the other option. It seemed a little more innocent and didn't put Lucette in a bad light for Rumpel. Yes, I think you should go visit him. Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to get him off your mind, would you? And they're also forcing the love narrative again. You know, there was a perfectly natural way for this to happen, and they just screwed it up. He laughed a little before picking up his tray and rushing off to continue his shift. I slowly make my way upstairs, my feet feeling heavy. For some reason, I feel like Karma was right. I make my way over to what I think is Rumpel's door. Okay, and then... Okay. I continue my usual work, keeping an eye out for Rumpel as I work my shift, but he never appears. A few days go by, and it is only after the man leaves, looking a lot healthier and stable than he was before, that I finally see Rumpel. He and the man speak at the front door to the tavern. No, really, sir, I couldn't take anything from you. Nonsense, you saved my life. I need to pay you back somehow. The man is holding money out to Rumpel, but Rumpel just shakes his head. I notice that there are dark circles under his eyes and that he looks tired. I didn't help you for the money. But I insist. That money could be spent on better things, like your family. You may not take my money, but I promise I will pay you back. Your health is all the reward I need, I promise. I can't thank you enough. After the man leaves, I approach Rumpel. He turns to me and leans against the door, his smile still tired but bright. Ah, Princess, come to heal my weary body, perhaps? I would so love another hug. Okay, so first of all, the image of Rumpel against the door, like, you know, leaning against the door or whatever. I always thought that the image of people leaning against the door was kind of attractive. So that image in my head would have been attractive if they had not screwed up Rumpel. And just him constantly being like, why won't you kiss me? Why won't you hug me? Constantly trying to pressure the princess into these affections, and it's like, please stop. Please stop. Hopefully he was just kidding, but it's Rumpel. He was either half kidding or he wasn't kidding at all. My face becomes hot at the memory of Rumpel's hug from the other day. Ah, the natural rouge of your cheeks is so sweet, Princess. It makes me feel infinitely better. And your necklace seems different? I reach out to touch the pendant. Every time I get a good deed, a piece gets added to my necklace. Oh right, you helped me with medicine the other day. Of course that was a good deed, Princess. It was very selfless of you. Thank you again for that. That man tried to thank you too, but you refused his money. Why? And why did you spend your money on him? Because life is invaluable, Princess. No amount of money could ever be more important than a person's life. Even if it is someone you do not know? Yes, because everyone has a life, Princess. They have loved ones, families, sweethearts. And if I can help them, I will. And I will gladly spend any amount of money to do so. Okay, fine. But why did you not accept any money from that man? I can understand why right now he's not accepting money. Just because that would have been inappropriate given the situation. I wouldn't have felt comfortable taking the man's money either. But in his regular practice, I do hope he gets some form of payment from people. I understand if they're too poor to be able to pay him, so he has to basically supplement it himself. And only charge people who can actually afford him. But that would make me think that his practice can't get, like, the supplies and stuff that it needs. But maybe I'm just going by an American point of view. Because that's the excuse they always give us when they refuse to take care of us over here, so... Okay, fine. But why did you not accept any money from that man? Because no amount of money. You needed that money. How are you going to buy more medicines without any money? That was the point I was making, yeah. Rumpel's eyes widened. He was clearly not expecting me to ask that question. But he said before he didn't have much money, and it was true. I can't take money from him when he doesn't have much of it to begin with. He was thanking you with money. You should have accepted it. Parfait pays you, does she not? In this particular instance, I would not have been comfortable taking the money. I've said that, and I stand by that. Rumpel's shoulders sag when he sighs. Yes, even though I want to accept the money from her face to face, she has to sneak it into my wallet. If she does that, why not just accept it from her? I'm trying to make a statement, Princess. And Parfait does not seem to care because she sneaks the money into your wallet regardless. And you don't hand it back. So what kind of statement are you making? You could sneak it back into her money. Sneak it back to her. Ah, you have a point there. You're stubborn. We both are. I will agree they're both kind of stubborn. Now I have a question. Why did you use your money on that man? You knew nothing about him. Did you do it for him? For yourself? Or for me, perhaps? This could have been cute! Rumpel grins at me mischievously. Even with the tired eyes, I can still see the bright cheer in them. Hit the nail right on the head. Again, you're becoming easier to read, my sweet princess. This could have been so cute! Well, no matter why you did it, thank you. That medicine was necessary to help that man. I still think you should have accepted money from him. You helped him and did him a service no one else would. You should have accepted his gratitude. Princess, I told you. I crossed my arms and frowned at him. You're so stubborn. Rumpel's smile falters and he just looks at me sadly, almost guiltily. For some reason, the sight of him in such a state makes my heart sink. Wipe off that frown. You look better with a smile. Okay, I almost choked on a laugh because it's sort of like he's always constantly telling her to smile. So this is like pulling a reverse Uno almost. Rumpel stares at me shocked. Why is he staring at me like that? But he, unlike her, he probably enjoys the fact that she wants him to smile though. That's the difference. You like my smile? Oh no! What have you done? What have you done, Lucette? What? I did not say You like my smile and you complimented me too. Princess, you have no idea how much this means to me. What have you done, Lucette? Rumpel throws his hands in the air. I resist the urge to roll my eyes at the exaggerated reaction. You get compliments all the time from women. Yes, but none as honest as yours. That compliment is valuable because I know you absolutely mean it. This could have been cute! So I will keep those words close to my heart because they are precious to me. I want to go like, oh, this is adorable, and it could have been, but there's just too much in the way. There's just too much that's already happened, including in this episode, that just makes it where it's just like, it's not as cute as it could have been. It wasn't anything like the spectacular compliments he gives me yet that he still looks so happy. You two seem to be getting along. Parfait appears behind us with a smile on her face. Sorry to interrupt, but Lucette, Karma is slowly drowning in table work. Would you help him? Yes, of course. Rumpel looks disappointed as I am sent back to the bar, where Karma expresses immediate relief that I am back. Rumpel retires to his room early that day and is given the day off. Both Delora and Parfait can see the tiredness on his face, just like I can. He does not reappear for the rest of the day. At the end of my shift... He does not reappear for the rest of the day. At the end of my shift, I retire to my room. Alright, I'm actually gonna stop things right there. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I am Bacon, and this so far has been Cinderella Phenomenon. Rumpel's Route. I actually forgot his name for half a second. Oh dear. Anyway, if you like the video, feel free to like the video. If you like me, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, all that lovely stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!